This Crestwood Cadet Coach Conversation brought to you by Wilson Custom Tree Service. We're with head coach Justin Denner after a 28-20 win in the first round of the playoffs over North Fayette Valley last Friday night. And coach, if you just a high school football fan and didn't have a partisan rooting interest and stopped in Crestgo last Friday night, you were entertained by a heck of a football game from what it sounds. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams played insanely hard. We were able to get a good stop at the end of the game and preserve the victory. But yeah, it was an outstanding game by both teams.
What got it done for you guys?
Ultimately, we were able to run the ball really well. I think we ran for over 400 yards, had close to 9 yards of carry. So our offensive line did an outstanding job. Cole Butekoffer and Maurice Powell had great effort, showed great effort, ran the ball really hard, and really did a good job for us there. And that really kind of took us to victory there.
And looking at the stats sheet, Cole with 229 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Maurice, 9 carries, 125 yards and a touchdown. It's seemingly that you were able to kind of piece by piecemeal gain yardage in the running game, but you also had some explosive plays. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, Cole scored on the second play of the game with a 54-yard run, and then broke out a couple other runs for 20 and 30 yards. Maurice had a 50-yard run there in the fourth quarter to put us, up 8. And then, and Topher Biak, got in there too. We didn't have to run him as much, but, I know he had a 30-yard run there in somewhere. And, ultimately we had some big chunk plays, but we were, consistently, moving the ball and doing good things. And our offensive line was moving people out of the way. And, we just needed to finish a couple of drives, and it would have been a lot worse of a score. But, it was also good for our guys to play in that type of environment and that type of game too, because it'll prepare us for this week.
And when you look at what you were able to do in the running game against a team that prides itself on interior line play on both the offensive and the defensive side, that prides itself on their physical style of play, how confident were you able to kind of get a boost from last week's game?
Yeah, and it was great for us. Obviously we know North Fayette is a perennial wing T team, and they ran for 200 and some yards too, and did a great job executing their things. And they just didn't have as big of a chunk plays on the run on the ground as what we did. But for our guys to really control the front line on that side of the ball was huge for us. But we just need to continue doing that and put a second week together. We hit it home with our guys today. We had against Forest City, I think we had 350 yards rushing, and the next week against New Hampton we had 85. And then we had 430 yards against Clear Lake, and then the next week we had 150 against Osage. And we can't go into this game and put up a small number and expect to continue to be playing next week. So what we did Friday night was awesome, but now it's about getting better and putting another type of effort like that this upcoming week.
You face a walk-on team that you defeated in week number 3, 44-20. How much better are they since that time? How much better are you guys since that time?
I think they're significantly better football team now than they were back in week 3. Playing with confidence. I think they've kind of found kind of their identity and who they are and what they kind of want to do. Short up some things, I think, on the defensive side. With some personnel and so forth. And so, yeah, they're a significantly better ball club. And, we know that. And I think we're a better ball club too. So we expect it to be, an outstanding ball game. And, we're looking forward to, playing football in late October.
Can you take anything away from that first matchup or the fact that 7 weeks have gone by since you last met? Is it kind of a new game this Friday night?
There's things to learn, and you go back and you revisit and you watch some things a little bit, closer, when you watch it right after the game, you're watching just yourself and, trying to get better there. But now that we're watching it, second time and watching it with, walk on and focus, there's things to learn about what they may want to try and do. But ultimately, I kind of liken it to, if we played them last year and now we're playing them, you play them again this year, that film's there is kind of a reference point, but it's two different teams, um, and so, it's two different things that, we're trying to, learn and continue to get better at. And, hopefully, go over there and play really well.
And it was kind of a balanced attack with 235 yards rushing for you guys, 100 yards passing. Do you feel you're going to have to mix it up a little bit more this Friday night in this second matchup?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to be able to throw the ball. I think they're gonna, watch our last couple of games and this and that, and they're gonna learn things and so forth. But I don't think we'll be able to only throw the ball 6 times and be able to be successful. If we do, then that'll be awesome. But I don't think that'll be the case. And so, our guys, we got to be able to execute, and essentially, we got to do what it takes to put a win up on the scoreboard. If that means we got to throw the ball 30 times, then I'll tell Sully to throw it 30 times. But we're just going to try and do what it takes and take what the defense gives us and go from there.
And defensively, what's it going to take to come out on top Friday night?
Yeah, Hatlin's a great quarterback. And they've gotten him a little bit more involved in the running game. And so that adds a new element to it. I think their offensive line's developed and gotten a little bit more cohesion there and is playing better, which then allows Palmer to get some good yards there too. So, as usual for us, it's going to be about stopping the run and making them one-dimensional, and then playing, good solid defense on the back end. There were some opportunities that Waukon had in the first game that they didn't capitalize on, and if they do, it'll be, they were, it's a closer game or a better game for them or whatever the case may be. So we got to get that stuff shored up on the back end there and, put forth our best defensive effort we can.
All right, Coach, congrats on getting to round number 2. It ought to be a dandy of a ball game in Waukon on Friday night. Keep your guys healthy. We wish best of luck.
Absolutely. Go Cadets.
Justin Denner, head coach of the Crestwood Cadets. This cadet coach conversation brought to you by Wilson Custom Tree Service.